Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Saturday morning of stamping. I'm Sarah Simon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from a beautiful fall morning here in Appleton, Wisconsin. Yesterday was 80 degrees, which is unseasonably warm here. But oh my goodness, today is absolutely gorgeous. This is my favorite kind of weather when it's nice and cool outside and you can put sweatshirts on, right? Thank you for joining me. It looks like we've got Angelique and Denise and Mary and Michelle, Amanda, Nancy, Sarah, Sandy, Kelly, Betty, Amanda, another Amanda, Sarah, Lori, Karen, and Marva. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I'm so excited because today I am giving away the bundle of your choice for the person who won our creative challenge. So before I give away the other prizes, what I think I want to do is read off the names of the people who entered into this competition. It's not really a competition because I'm not voting on which card is the best. It's just by chance if your name gets picked. So I'm going to read off the names. There's quite a few of them. And I just want to make sure that I have everyone. So if somebody's on here and you're like, oh, I entered into that and I didn't get, she doesn't have my name, I can enter it. So I have Becky Weisky, Tammy Marquardt, Jeanne Collar, Mary Van Domlin, Diane Van Grull, Amanda Shabo. Make sure I separate all of them. Jean Maxwell, Anna Revidu, Sandy Calloway, Mary Linsmeyer, Tammy Letsky, Michelle Jones, Aileen Humphrey, Sarah New, Angelique McClendon, I think is how you pronounce that, Lori Workman, Karen Roofing, Diane Hermson, getting there, Sarah Marquardt, Melanie Foy, Kathy Kessler, and Amanda Rowe. So that's who I have. Good morning from Alberta, Canada, Kathy Gillis. Thank you for joining us. So if you did not, if you're on Facebook, Create with Sarah is my page, and all of these people posted one of the cards, like the card, the fold that I did 2 weeks ago. Last week was World Card Making Day. So here was the fold. So we made this card. And we made this one. And then I also have, I forgot, we made a little treat box as well. So this is going out to someone who commented 2 weeks ago. And the person whose number I picked was on YouTube. It's April Raskin 5488. And April, I do not believe that I have your address. So if you could send me a private email at createwithsarahllc@gmail, give me your address. I will get that in the mail to you. And then for sharing, so anytime, good morning, all of you who jumped on. So it looks like Linda and Donna and Barbara and Kay jumped on, and I said hello to Kathy already. Jumped on since I said my good mornings to everyone. So anytime that you share, and make sure in the comments you do like Mary did. I see that she put that she shared, and Sandy did. If you end up sharing this either on a Facebook page or you email it to someone, somewhere there should be an opportunity for you to share. Let me know that you shared because I don't always see that. And you can also share on from my Facebook post as well. You get entered into a drawing and receiving a pack of these natural tone linen threads. So I used these last week in my world card making with the frosted forest. I love these. These are thinner than baker's twine. It's like our linen thread. And this is going to, oh, I just covered up. This is going to Denise Umloft. So Denise, I will get these off to you. These have been on back order forever. They came back in for like 2 days and now they're on back order again. So I happened to, in those 2 days, I happened to get a couple of these. And so I will get that off in the mail to you, Denise. And then for placing an order. So I have all the names of the orders that were placed this week here on my desk, and I am just going to randomly pick somebody. My comments and shared are just, there's way too many to like create a little drawing for for all of those. So I just assign you a number and I do a random number picker, kind of like that wheel thing that we did last time. So here's the name that I picked. Donna Deppner, you are the lucky winner, Donna. So I don't know if you have this or not. We used to have Lovely as a Tree, which was Shelley Gardner's favorite stamp set, and it seemed like it was never going to retire. It finally retired, and now it's been maybe about 6 or 7 years, maybe longer. They came back with Loveliest Tree. So Donna, I will get that out in the mail to you sometime this week. If you have it, you have my email or my text message. Just text me and let me know if you already have that. I can't remember if that's one of them that you ordered or not. Okay, let's see who else has jumped on here. We've got a lot of people that said share. Congratulations to the winners. Yes, thanks, Kelly. Um, all right. Good. Donna doesn't have it. Okay, I have all of these here. Let's see. How about if I do this? You can see all of the little things here. I'm going to make sure I have them all in the screen here. And I'm just going to, I've mixed them all up and I'm going to go ahead and pick one of them. Let's see, which one do I want to pick? How about if I pick this one right here? Michelle Jones. Michelle, congratulations. You can email me or send me a text or a Facebook Messenger, and let me know what bundle you would like to purchase. And if you want to wait until I can get more of the online exclusives, you can do that as well. At the end of our video today, I'm actually going to be sharing with you the some of the online exclusives that are going to be coming in November. So Stampin' Up started to do these online exclusives, which are things that you don't know how long they're going to stick around. Some of them have stuck around quite a while, but it's stuff that's not in the catalog, but that might fit a holiday. They did some Christmas stuff this summer. They did all of the Halloween stuff, so it came out before the September through December catalog. So for those that want their Halloween stuff earlier, they're doing the same thing with the November one. So in November is going to be a Valentine's. There's paper. There's also a stamp set that you can use for Valentine's Day, because if you have to wait until January, for some people, they want to get started on that stuff. Like I have people who make their Christmas cards in the summer because that's when they have more time to do it. So I will share some of those products that are coming out at the end of this. I know a lot of you have probably seen, a lot of demonstrators have done their unboxing already. And so some of you have seen that already. So if you don't want to stick around at the end, that's fine. If you'd like to see some of the stuff that's going to be available, I will be showing you that as well. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, you know what? I had Happy Mail and I didn't bring it in here. It's sitting in my kitchen. I will do Happy Mail. I'll do twice the amount next week. How about that? All right, let's go ahead. I switched my camera up here. Let's go like this. We'll switch and we'll make that bigger. And I'm going to turn my overhead light off to get rid of those shadows. All right, I'm going to bring my paper trimmer over too as well, because for this first card, we are going to need that. So I have a kit available right now. You can order it. You can order this until next, I think I have it open until next Saturday. And what it is, it's called the Hang and Ornament Kit. Kathy Miller and I are doing this. So this is the stamp set and it has dies. So it is a bundle. Okay, so there's a little ornament and I wanted to put this in here. So this is one of those like there's another stamp set, something surprises. I ended up having to do that one for a card swap that I was in. But anyway, it doesn't cut it out completely, so that if you wanted to, you could have it. There's a little thing that says pull and a little arrow that you can put the word pull on. And if you pull this out, it has a little string on it or a little hole in it as well. you can put a string in there and you can create something that they could actually hang on some sort of a little tree of some sort. All right. And then you could put another greeting on the inside if you wanted to. Okay, so this is a really clever little set. It's got a couple of different designs. It has this fancy little thing that you can put across the ornaments. You can put these words across the ornament or not. Today, we're not going to do that. And then with the kit, you can do the full kit would be, look at this glimmer paper. Whoops, I have a piece of something else in there. But you will get 2 6x6 sheets of each of the 3 colors. I don't know how that got in there. There is cherry. This is called cherry cobbler. It looks like the real red though, because real red is what we have in here. This is garden green and granny apple green. Okay, so you will get 4 or 2, I mean, of each. And then you will get 6 of each of the sheets of these patterns that are in the take a bow or take a bow, whatever you want to call it, designer paper. You will get a spool of this red and white twine, baker's twine. You will get a pack of our iridescent faceted gems. And then you will get cardstock that is cut for 8 cards. So we'll have 4 designs. You will get 2 of each, along with a PDF that tells you how to put those together and a video, a private video that we will share with you. And then there is also a bonus gift card holder that we will send with it. Now, when we send this, if you purchase the one where it says just getting the cut cardstock, you do not get any of this paper. You do not get any of these gems. So if you want to make the cards exactly the way we did, you would have to have this on hand. Okay. If you purchase this bundle, if you do it without the stamp set, it's $35. You get all of this paper plus all of the cardstock cut. Okay, that's $35. If you want to add the bundle onto it, it's a total of $70. And this all comes packaged with a little gift from Kathy and I as well. And all of the videos and the instructions come digitally to you so that you can save them on your computer and you don't have to worry about losing them. Right, so that is coming up. So I wanted to today share a bonus card with you, so to speak, so that you would have one more card that you could use using this bundle. And so we are going to be using the same paper, and this is going to be a fun fold. It's sort of a combination of 2 fun folds that we have. So we're going to start with our base is going to be real red, and this is just a standard card base. So it's 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. Okay, on the front of our card, so if this is going to be the front of our card, I have it on the back here, but I want to go over, this is the front of our card. I want to go over 1 1/4 inches, and I want to cut from the bottom up to that score line. So I like to, when it's under, it's 1 1/4 or under, I like to make my score line, I like to line up on the right-hand side because that gives me more space to line up, because you want to make sure this is pushed up all the way to the top so that you're not crooked. Okay. I would not be able to cut straight if I didn't have that as a guide. Okay. So I'm going to go from the bottom up to that score line. And I have these little marks on the side that show me where that score line is at 4 1/4. Okay. So that is the first thing that we want to do with our card. Okay, I'm going to put my trimmer back where it belongs. All right, then we have a couple of layers that are 4 inches by 4 inches. And I'm using Granny Apple Green for these. Okay, so these are each 4 by 4. And then we have a Granny Apple Green that is 1 inch by 4 inches. You can probably tell where those are going to go, right? And then I took one of the patterns and I did this one that has all 3 of those colors in. So it's real red, garden green and granny apple green. And this is 3 7/8, so it's just 1/8 of an inch. Now, if you don't like eighths of an inch, you could just cut this at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. You would just have a little bit more of the granny apple green showing behind it. I also have a basic white that's cut to that size for the inside of our card. And then, let's see, I have a different pattern that is 7/8 of an inch by 3 7/8. Again, if you don't like eighths of an inch, do 3/4 by 3 3/4, and you would just have a little bit more of the granny apple green showing. Okay, then what I did, this is for our envelope so that we can dress that up. I took that ornament die and I cut out an ornament in each of the 3 glimmer papers. Wow. All right, so we've got a granny apple green, a garden green, and that's technically a cherry cobbler. I also, with our granny apple green, cut out, this is from our stylish shapes. I ended up cutting that out. And then this is going to be hard. I got to dump these out. There we go. There's a lot of little pieces in there. So some of the dies are the little topper. I don't know how well you can see that for our ornament, and also our ornament hook. So I did this in our silver foil paper. And so I did 3 of each of those. So I have those here. And then I also, there's this little holly that I did garden green. And then you get 2 things that cut out, each cut out 2. I must have had one left over from when I cut out my first one, but we're only going to use 3 of those. But I put them all in there in case I lost one. Okay, so those are all just some little pieces. So we're not using as much of the stamps in this card. I found that I used the stamps a lot in the other cards that Kathy and I designed. We used the stamps a lot. We have ornaments on all but one, I think, of the cards has an ornament on it somewhere. Okay, so putting this together, we are going to stamp. Let's get our stamping done, then we'll put it together. So on our banner, we are going to take one of the greetings, and I'm going to take the All is Merry, and I'm going to use some of our garden green ink, and this is on granny apple green, and I'm going to stamp this off to the left of this banner. Okay, this is where I'm going to end up putting that holly that I cut out over there. So that's why I wanted to put it over to the left. Then on the inside of our card, I'm taking a greeting from our Peaceful Seasons. I liked the hoping this season is bright and beautiful because, oh my goodness, right? These are just bright and beautiful ornaments. And so I'm going to stamp that in our garden green as well. And then we have stamps that are also that holly. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of towards the right side, I'm going to stamp a couple of the greens, and then here's my little red. We're going to bring our real red in, and we'll stamp a couple of the little holly berries. Okay, so that gives us just a little bit of greeting on the inside and a greeting on the outside. And that's all I'm going to stamp for this one. Okay, and I decided with this card, I'm going to bring in, because of the silver that I used on the ornaments, the tops of the ornaments, I'm going to bring in some of this silver trim. And I'm going to use that rather than the red and white baker's twine on this one. All right, so what we're going to do is I've made before, okay, so we've seen a card where we've done the book fold, right? Where we've got something on this side and then it opens up to the left. Actually, it would open up. This is going to flip up. I've also done a card where I've cut a little bit on this side and I've cut a little bit of that side, and then the middle opens up. This is kind of a combination of the two. Okay, so we're going to glue this piece down, and only this is going to open up. So it's going to be sort of like a bookfold that opens from the top, right? If that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some adhesive, put a new one in this morning because I used all of mine. Okay, and I just want to make sure that I have that straight, that it lines up along the bottom. All right, and then this inside layer that we stamped is going to be layered to one of our garden greens. Looks like I need to change my, or put a new cutting blade in. I just cut for my card buffet. For those of you that signed up for my card buffet, I have all the cards cut, and they're all, my mom came and she put them all in envelopes for me, and we have them all separated. They're all ready to go right behind me for next weekend. So yeah, next weekend I do have my card buffet. So my live next weekend is going to have to be at 12:30 in the afternoon rather than 8:30 in the morning, because I have ladies coming in the morning that want to stamp. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add the designer paper to that. So I liked how it just had this little edge. Hi, Lila. Lila's been feeling neglected, I think, again. No, not really. Last night I had everything done. So the only thing I had to do was pick for prizes. So we did that. I typed up the dimensions for to be able to show you. And then I just cuddled with her all night. I think she loved it. And we watched I don't even know what we watched last night. What did we have on the TV? I don't even remember. Oh, I just caught up on some things. I had like the Golden Bachelorette that I had. I know, a guilty pleasure. I had taped it, and so we watched, I think we had to watch 2 weeks of that, which was a couple of hours of time I can't get back, right? Okay, so that's gonna go there. Before I pop this one down here, I'm going to add some of that silver trim to it. So what I'm going to do is just cut enough to be able to run it. This is how I like to put, I feel like it makes the ribbon a little bit flatter. We're just going to make a knot and not a bow. So I'm just going to wrap it around here, and then I'm going to take some Scotch tape, and I will put some Scotch tape down here, and she'll get some attention today because I have swaps that I have to make, but we're going to go for a WALK when we're done here because it's so gorgeous out. And then after I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Yeah, Sarah, this card is really, really nice and bright. Okay, so we've got that. Then what I need to do is I need to add all of these little things to my, and I'm going to bring a silicone mat in here only because I just don't want to get, I want to be able to, if I put glue on here, I want it to be able to come up. So I found the easiest way is to just take glue dots. So I'm just going to, I think I'm going to put all of this stuff on glue dots because it all has to go on glue dots. So I'm going to put each of my little caps. So 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to put, my hooks have to go the opposite way because I need the glue on the front of them. And then we have, I'm going to do 3 of the little berries, kind of like I did on the inside. 3 of the berries. I've got 5 here, so 1, 2, 3, and our 2. And I only need really a glue dot on one end. Just pull all that off, and we're just going to pull all that stuff off to make it. Sometimes when I'm making a whole bunch of cards and it has a whole bunch of things on glue dots, I like to just do this, put everything on the glue dot, and then all I have to do is pull it off. So I want one of these to go right here. Okay, and oops, I want a hook. Okay, see how it looks like an ornament now? We're going to take another one of those little caps. I love the detail in these. They look just like the little, when you have a little fun ornament like this that you put on your tree, it's exactly what it looks like, right? Those little balls that you can buy. And we've got one more. And one more hook. All right, so we've got our 3 ornaments. I'm actually going to put the granny apple green one in the back, and then we're going to do, it doesn't really matter which way I think I'm going to do it this way. Okay, those are just going to get layered on top of each other like that. Okay, so I'm going to do this one in just regular seal, and then the rest we're going to throw on some dimensionals. Okay, so we'll put the garden green one next. And then I have our cherry cobbler one. And this one I'm going to keep my dimensionals a little bit more to this right side because I don't want to put dimensionals on top of that. And I'm going to just take a little bit of my seal. I'm going to add some of that on the left side. Okay, so there are our 3 ornaments. Look at all that glitter in there, right? Okay, then we're going to take our All is Merry, and I find that when I'm going to put something on top of glimmer paper, the thing that holds it the best are glue dots. So I'm going to go ahead and take my glue dots out again, and I'm going to add 1, 2, and 3. And just kind of set that right across those ornaments like that. And then on this end where I have that space, we're going to put a little bit of this holly. And I've got 3 dots. I think 3 dots should be good. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so all is merry with our beautiful ornaments. I got a piece of hair stuck in there somehow. Oh my goodness, it's really stuck. Must have glued it right in. I think I got it out now. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to take a little bit of that silver and tie my knot and then trim off those edges a little bit. And there is our first card, which is a bonus card for that hang an ornament kit. So you will get 4 different cards. 2 of them are fun folds. You will get to make 2 of each one. You now have this bonus card that you can make that uses those supplies. And you will also get a gift card holder if you sign up for that kit. So, hi, Carol. Hi, Melanie and Betty. I don't think I said hello to Betty. So, welcome to all of you. So, that is our card number 1. And we'll top it all off with I'm going to set these off to the side so I could make more of these if I want. So when you get the kit, like I mentioned, there's a couple of different options. If you need the bundle, you can get all of it for $70. You can get just the cards with the designer paper, the glimmer paper, but then you have to have stamp sets, or you have to have, like, if you have another ornament um, die or a punch or something like that that you can use in place of where we have ornaments on our card, you could go ahead and do that. We have some people that do that. And then you could also just get the cards with absolutely nothing, not the paper, the glimmer paper, anything. So there is our first card. Fun, fun, fun. Yeah, love the sparkle, right? Someone would open that and be like, bright and beautiful, right? That's why I thought that greeting stuck so well. I still see that piece of hair in there. Goodness gracious, let me take my scissors and cut that. I don't know if you can see it, but there is definitely a piece of hair that is right here. We could just say that it is the string from the ornament, right? Okay, so there we go. I got that hair out of there. That is our card number 1. All right, here's what I did the other day. I put the All is Merry, or put the holly on the other side. I didn't know if I liked that, so I moved it over to the right side instead of the left side. And you know what else I did that I forgot to do on here? I like added Wink of Stella to add some glitter to this as well. So it didn't get left out from all the glitter that was in the ornaments. So the Wink of Stella just adds a little bit of shine to that without adding. I did cut out the garden green in this, but I thought it was just a little bit too much. So I toned it down a little bit and then just added some Wink of Stella on there. So it does still glitter a little bit. Hi, Becky. Glad you could join us. All right, so there is our card number 1. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way here, and we will pull in card number 2, which I have a lot of stuff that I have to pull over for card number 2. It's sitting on my counter. Oh, all right, so I had a request, and I cannot even remember who it was that requested it. But they said, could you do a religious Christmas card? And I send out mostly religious Christmas card. Like when I make my Christmas cards, they're usually religious. After all, in my opinion, that's the reason we celebrate Christmas, right? And so I like to focus that on my Christmas cards. And so the stamp set that is in the holiday catalog that had the best religious feel to it is this Shepherd's Care. And I'd been wanting to use this. I did do a card in my card buffet. It actually, I think there's a lot of people who come to my card buffets who actually feel the same way I do, because there were more people that requested this card than any other card in my buffet. So I wanted to do a second card with it for this morning so that you could see another way to possibly use this. And I'll show you the card that I put in my buffet is one that I copied from somebody else online, and I don't like to do those for my live. I like to do something that's an original for me when I do my lives. So I paired it with, this is also in our holiday catalog, and it's called Falling Snow. But if you look closely at the snowflakes, they almost look like a starry sky. So I didn't tell my mom what the name of the stamp set was. And when she came over on Wednesday, I had the background that I wanted to use with this done with Night of Navy and gold. And I said, what does this look like to you? And she said, a starry sky. And I'm like, Oh, yes. Thank you. I'm going to do it then because I didn't want it to really look like snow. I really did want it to look like a starry sky. And so that's what we're going to be using the falling snow for, is to make something that looks like a starry sky. All right. Then, let's see. Let's go ahead and get all of our dimensions. I'm going to show you some of the things I played around with because I struggled at first with this. My mom can tell you the struggle was real. I kept like changing things up, and then I'd be like, how about this? How about that? Yeah, that looks good. And then um all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, but what about if I did this? Yep, that looks better. So she was kind of helping me along with for planning this. So anyhow, I have been loving our basic beige. I like it better than our vanilla, and I like it better than our for certain cards than our basic white. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. And I felt like this was the perfect. I said to my mom, "What would you pick?" I had vanilla, I had white, and I had basic beige. And she goes, "Honestly, I would take the basic beige." And I did too. That was what I was thinking, but I didn't know if what I was thinking was right or not. But she felt the same way. So that was verification. Good morning, Nancy. Well, good. Um, Goodbye, Donna. Thanks for your service to our seniors. So then we're going to use some of our gold foil, and this measures 4 by 5 1/4. And you can see that what I did was I took our nested essentials dies, and I don't like, I use these two. I use this one the most. I use this for different banners that I want, but I don't use this one very much. And all of a sudden I was like, I'll show you what I did. The first thing I did was I took the shepherd and I cut it out. I fussy cut it. And we tried that on this card, and it just didn't work. And then I thought maybe I'll start with a label, and I'll put him on a label, and I'll tie some gold thread on there, and we'll put him on a label and put him on the card. Didn't really like that either. So I'm going through all of my dies. What else could I put him on? And all of a sudden I came to these, and I'm like, yep, that's it. So I took the same one, it's the second to the largest, and I cut out some gold from the center so that I had it for my card because I don't like to waste. This is going to be covered by a piece of Night of Navy, and that piece is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay, so it's just going to be a little bit of the gold shining through there, but I didn't want to waste all that gold, so I cut the layer there. I also cut, so here's what I cut out of there. I also cut a basic beige in there that we're going to stamp our shepherd on. Um, I have a six. Oh, that's for the next one. I have a scrap of basic beige that we're going to be doing something with our greeting. I have a scrap of Night of Navy that we're also going to be doing something with our greeting. And then look at this. Oh, right? This is from our Spotlight on Nature. It's this one that kind of looks like the edge of a coin, I think. So that is what I ended up cutting from the gold, and it looked just gorgeous when I did it. So we're going to be using that as well. All right. I like to, when I'm using a background stamp, I really like to use my, well, we used to have our stamp positioner. What was it called? Stamparatus. We don't have that anymore. So this is actually a Misty. And I had my Misty before Stampin' Up even came out with the Stamparatus. So this is an old Misty. You can still get Misties. They've got them in different sizes. And it's My Sweet Petunia, I think, is the name of the place where you can get them, I think, or Sweet Petunia. I don't remember, but it's something like that. So we are going to take our navy layer, and we're going to just set that in there. And I'm going to take Versamark ink and ink up my stamp. And then we're going to go ahead. I'm going to take that, close that up. I'm going to close this up. Now, if you have a hard time pressing, I don't really, but I really like this. You can buy these on Etsy. You can find them on Etsy. I think I also found them on Amazon. Um, it's just like one of those, like when you play air hockey, it's kind of like one of those little pucks. I know I have somebody, I think it was Mary Van Dommelen. I think her husband made her something like this so that she could use it for her stamp positioning. Now you can't really see anything on there because we're going to get rid of this. And I'm going to bring in my embossing kit. Now, I had a hard time finding this in the catalog. So I'm like, okay, where is that in the catalog? Because I wanted to make sure it was still available. I was pretty sure it was. But all of the different techniques are towards the back, and they don't really do a good job of showing the whole picture. They show you the little reverse tweezers that is here, but that item is right here down in the bottom. And what is included in that embossing toolkit is you get this little container that I just go ahead when I have a big piece like this and I put that right inside of there. You get a little brush for brushing off any of the little extra speckles. And then you get this tweezers for holding on to it. And when you put it under the heat tool, this isn't going to melt on you. So I'm just going to take some of my Wow Gold, which is our new embossing powder. And I'm just going to dump some of it on here. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. Okay, I just don't want to use too many of my fingers because then it ends up, and I'm just going to tap off any extras. And with this being a background that's supposed to be stars, if there's a little bit of extra somewhere, it's not that big of a deal. What's nice about this little thing is now I can just hold this over my container, pat that off, use my little brush to get any of the extra little things, and I didn't make that much of a mess in my workspace. Okay, I can put that back. I can hold this here underneath my heat tool. And when all of that is said and done through the magic of TV, look at what we have. A beautiful starry sky. Uh, all right. Then what we're going to do for stamping, let me get our stamping done. I do have a little bit of powder that went on there. All right, we are going to stamp our shepherd on this die that we cut, or this, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a die cut. And I love this shepherd. It's one of our distinctive stamps that has so much detail to it. And so I'm going to actually, this is a bigger stamp, so I like to bring my ink to my stamp to make sure that I get good coverage of my ink. So I flip it upside down so I can actually see that I got the ink everywhere. And I'm just going to stamp this a little bit to the left. Whoops. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I just love that. And then there are these little extra stars. And I'm just going to take a couple of those and randomly add that above his head a little bit. Okay. Then on the inside of our card, I didn't feel like we needed a layer on here because everything else was stamped in the blue on the basic beige. So I'm going to take the other greeting, one of the greetings, I should say, and the one that says, praying that you will feel the Good Shepherd's care in this season and throughout the coming year. So we're just going to stamp that in the center of our card. And I'm going to bring some of our basic beige ink in. And I'm going to take that star and I'm just going to stamp that in the background. So you can see the stars back there. I thought about taking the Bethlehem scene, like there's a little, almost like a little town of Bethlehem. And if you wanted to, you could stamp that maybe down. We can do that, see what it looks like. Oh, you know what? I don't think I put it in here because I decided not to use it. So I only put the stamps that I was using in here. So you could put like the little town of Bethlehem down in the corner if you wanted to. All right. Then for our greeting on the front, I'm going to take this circular greeting that says, Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And I'm going to put this in Night of Navy ink. And you do have to be careful. Just tap this lightly in your ink because with this spot in the middle here and on top, if you press too hard in your ink, you're going to get ink in that area. How do I know? It happened to me a lot when I was doing this. So you have to very lightly tap in your ink so as not to get, and if you do get some, just take like a wipe or something and get rid of it before you go and stamp it down. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. And I'm going to take our one, and actually I'm going to put a star, same star in the center of that. Okay, I'm going to take our 1 3/4 inch punch, which is in our online exclusives. And I know I'm cutting off Prince of Peace. Don't worry, we're going to replace it. Okay, so that's going to cut that part out. And then I'm going to clean my stamp with my chamois. Okay, this you can buy also from the Stampin' Up website from my store. I'm just going to tap it off a little bit. I'm done with this. I'm going to put that away. And on this strip of Night of Navy, I am going to, with Versamark ink again, I'm going to stamp that, the Prince of Peace part. And, oh no, you know what? Through the magic of TV, I do have that done. Okay. Oh, all of a sudden I was in a panic. I'm like, I swear I did that. I didn't see it with my stuff that I pulled from my envelope. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add that. I'm going to set this over here so I can heat that later because through the magic of TV, I have that done. And what we're going to do to build that greeting is I'm just going to take my snips and I'm going to just cut around the words. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, I love that snowy sky. I can show you where that is in the, I just think that's something that could be used for so many different things. Like, yes, it could be used for snow, and I think that would look beautiful for snow. But all of a sudden, when I looked at it, I'm like, it kind of looks like the stars that are in this set. So why don't we try to see what that looks like? And so I did not tell my mom that it was supposed to be snow. I just said, what does this look like to you? She's like, a starry sky. And I'm like, amen, sister. That's what we're going with. Because that's what I was hoping for. Thank you very much. If she had said snow, I don't know what I would have done. But the minute she said that, I was like, yay. Okay, so when we put our card together, this is just going to go over the top of that like that so that we have our Prince of Peace kind of popping out. All right, we are ready to put this card together. Let me get rid of some of the stamps here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to layer our Night of Navy Starry Sky onto that gold foil paper. And then that is going to be layered to the front of our card. Now that I have this stamped, I got to make sure that I have the front of the card because I've done that already too. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to actually cut it in half. And I could do that with just a plain scissors because it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to go ahead and bring my trimmer in here. That looks about half. It doesn't have to be exactly half, but it looks pretty good. Now, to try to get this straight, I can tell you a little hint or different things that I used. There are little stitch marks up here. I lined mine up because I didn't want too much gold showing. I lined mine up so that that first, after the side here, this first stitch line is where I covered that. So I just put a little bit of adhesive on my gold and I came up to the top and I lined it up so that that stitch line, I was going right along the stitch line and that little stitch was covered at both. And I just made sure my top and bottom lined up. So I'm just basically having a real tiny little stitch of the gold left. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Gonna line up the bottom. Whoops, I'm too far over. So I'm going to go to where that first stitch is and cover that up. Do the same thing over here. Okay. So when I was doing this, here's what I did. I put my little shepherd down here. I'm like, oh, that looks okay. We could put the Prince of Peace up there because you kind of got your star up there. So that's kind of how I started. All right. And then I was like, what else could we do? So then I ended up trying this. And then I was like, we'll put this over here. This is going to have some gold behind it though. Okay. So there's a lot of different looks. So maybe you like this look, just the shepherd and having that up there, or maybe just having the star up there, not having a greeting on the front. There's a lot. There's also one that says peace on earth that you could use that greeting. What I decided on was using this, and I kind of centered it a little bit, and then putting my greeting right next to it like that. So that's what I finally did. But I can show you though that was some of my thought process and some of the things that I went through as I was trying to build this card. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach this with just regular seal, or you could do liquid glue if you're a liquid glue person. And then I'm going to add this greeting to our gold. And then did have a silicone mat here before. Here it is. You could also, I like silicone mats because nothing sticks to this. You can always get it up again. You could also use glue dots if you wanted to. And now I'm going to try to line that up. All right. And then before I add it, I'm going to pull this ribbon that I have out of here. I love this ribbon. But I'm just going to cut off 2 little tails. And I'm just going to attach a little bit of that to the edge here. I didn't think it needed that much. Sometimes simple is better, right? When it's so elegant like this. And then we're going to put that on dimensionals and put that right there. Here are my dimensionals. Those are tiny ones. Where are my big ones? Where did I put them? over here with my chamois. That's where they ended up. And I will show you the other card that I made for my card buffet. But like I said, I cannot take credit for that one, and I don't remember who I found that, whose video I was watching when I found it. But there is our wonderful counselor, mighty God, everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, and then our greeting on the inside. So yeah, Becky, I love navy, and I messed around with silver and navy, and then I really came back to the gold. I really liked how the gold looked on it because I do like navy. Um, for Christmas cards, I loved the nativity scene that we had last year with the navy paper. Okay, here's the card in my buffet that I copied from somebody. This uses very vanilla. Okay, very vanilla and navy. Again, that ribbon. This is, I believe that I used crumb. Oh, no, I think I used the basic beige on there. It's either crumb cake or basic beige. I can tell you. Ink is crumb cake. And then I did a star with our deckled circles, cut that out. So there is another option. And there I used the little town of Bethlehem on the inside, and then a different greeting for the Merry Christmas. All right, so those are a couple of options for some of the religious Christmas cards. All right, let me go ahead and clean some of this stuff up. I did say that I would have a bonus with Halloween being just a couple of weeks away. I said that I would create a little treat box that you could make for Halloween. And so I do have that I can share with you as well. I know some people like 3D items. A lot of people commented the last time that they liked having the little 3D items because they like making those. This one's kind of like origami, but so it doesn't require any cutting. It's just a lot of folding, but we're going to help the folding along by using our score tool. And this is the little box that we're going to make. So you can put, the person who made it is Julie DiMatteo. She made it, gosh, I want to say it was like maybe a year ago that was on her channel. But you can kind of see everything is just kind of folded in on itself and nothing has to be cut. I had some Hershey Kisses that I bought that are wrapped in little fall stuff. You could put Werther's in here. I think a little small Reese's peanut butter cup would probably fit in there as well, or you could put some Rolos or something like that. So I'm going to show you how to make the top and make the bottom of this little box. You could also make it at Christmas time. I love doing things at Christmas time and throwing them in my purse. And then if I'm at a store or something and someone's very helpful, I can just pull it out of my purse and say, here, Merry Christmas. And there's just like a little treat in there. It didn't cost me a whole lot. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right. So I'm going to bring my scoring tool in here. And one of the things that I had already done this a long time ago for when I've made other things that needed to be scored on a diagonal. I put my 6 inch where my 6 inch is. I took a Sharpie marker and I made a mark there because anytime you want to put something in diagonally and make things, you need to line it up with something. And this was right smack dab in the middle. So it was the easiest place for me to put that. All right, we are going to start with let's start with the bottom. Okay, so the bottom, I'm using this purple. This is from our online exclusives. So this is 6x6. And then I can tell you that the top piece, we'll do this, is 5.5 by 5.5. Okay, now for the bottom, for our 6x6, what we're going to do is we're going to line up our corners at the bottom. Whoops, I come up a little bit so you can see it. Let me get this off. Hopefully you all have those. Oh no, you can see it now, even with that there. Okay, so I'm lining that up at the 6, and I'm lining that up at the 6. And I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold this down with my left hand, and I'm going to score with my right hand. If you are left-handed, um, you would probably want to figure out the opposite directions. I think it would be 5 and an eighth, 4 and an eighth, and 3 and an eighth. Okay, but I'm right-handed, so I'm doing this as right-handed. I'm going to come where the 7 and an eighth is, and I'm going to score that at 7 and an eighth. I'm going to come to 8 and an eighth, and I'm going to score it. And then I'm going to go to 9 and an eighth, and I'm going to score it. Then I'm going to rotate it, get my corners in, 7 and an eighth, 8 and an eighth, and 9 and an eighth. Okay, I'm going to rotate it again, get my corners set. 7 and an eighth, 8 and an eighth, and 9 and an eighth. And then again, I thought these boxes, they go together pretty quick. Once you get everything scored, I would just score however many you want to make, score them all at once. And then you can just do a little assembly line of putting them together. But I thought they would be make really great gifts to give to people at work. Okay, then I'm going to put this in the regular way in the score tool, and I'm going to go to the halfway point. So this is 6. I'm going to go to 3, and I'm just going to score down to where these two score lines meet. Okay, it'll help later. You really don't have to put this one in, but it really does help with folding the corners of the boxes if you put that in. So I'm going to go all the way to the corner, come to 3, go down to where the two score lines meet. Okay, so that's going to be our bottom of our box. Now the top has to be, you almost want to use a 16th inch, but our score tool doesn't have 16ths of an inch. So how we're going to fix that is in the 6, this is actually a groove. Okay, there's an actual groove there. In between where the groove is, there's like a raised piece of plastic. Okay, that raised piece of plastic is basically your 16th of an inch. So instead of lining this up this time on where the line is, I'm going to slide it over to where that little plastic is right next to the line. Okay, so I'm not going down to the next groove. I'm going to the little piece of plastic that's right there before 6 inches. Okay, and for the cover, I'm going to score at 7 and an eighth. Whoops, let me put that up here. That's my 3. Here's the next one, sorry. There we go. 7 and an eighth, 7 and 7/8, and 8 and 5/8. Okay, then I'm going to rotate it again. I'm going to line the corners up on that little plastic piece that's right next to the 6, and I'm going to repeat the same thing. So 7 and an eighth, 7 and 7/8, and 8 and 5/8. Right, do the same thing on the next one. Okay, so 7 and an eighth is going to be the mark right after 7. 7 and 7/8 is going to be the mark right before 8. And 8 and 5/8 is going to be the mark right after 8 and a half. Right, and then I've got this side to do. So 7 and an eighth, 7 and 7/8, and 8 and 5/8. Okay, then just like I did with the other one, this time I'm going to go to 2 and 3/4, and I'm going to score down to where those score lines meet. So get it in the corner, go to 2 and 3/4, So this one's a little bit harder to do on the using your paper trimmers. It's much easier to do with the score tool. I love my score tool. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in and we're gonna fold on the second. Okay, so the second score line in the corner. And I have my bone folder here. I'm gonna give that a good burnish. And then I'm gonna fold on this one and fold on the next score line. Fold those two together. What that's gonna do is it's gonna form the side of our box, one side of our box. We're gonna do that on the next side too. So score on the second one. You can see there's my first one. So I'm scoring on the second one. And then fold these two together. That's gonna make that side of the box. Okay, then I'm gonna do the next one. I'm gonna fold on the second score line. Fold the third and the first together. And that's gonna make that side. And then the same thing over here. I'm gonna fold on the second. Fold those together. Okay, now that I have that done, I'm going to, for reinforcement, add a little bit of liquid glue. Okay, it's origami, so you're not supposed to technically have to add any glue. You're just supposed to be folding it on itself, but I find that it was easier to put glue. So there's that one. Here's the next one. So I'm doing the two that are opposite each other first. So we've got our box there. Right now our corners. So we have this score line that we made right here. Okay, that was the last one that we did. We're going to fold that so that this edge and that edge match up to make the corner of our box. Okay, see how I did that? I'll do that over here again. I'm going to fold this edge and that edge are going to make the corner of the box. So I'm going to fold on that score line to make my corner. Right, I'm going to bring my bone folder in here and I'm just going to give this a good burnish. Okay, and this time I'm going to put my glue in that little black area of the triangle and push this down. Okay, so there I've got one part of my box. Now I got to repeat that. So here's my score line. I'm going to fold that in so that goes up like that. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Fold that in to go up like that. Set it down. Give those score lines a good burnish. And then add a little glue where I want that last piece to go. And there's the bottom of our box. Oh, you're welcome, Gian. Okay, now we're going to do the top. We're going to do the exact same thing. It's just going to copy that. How we did the bottom is how we're going to do the top. So we're going to fold on the second score line and then do the first and the third together. Okay, that's going to fold that side. We're going to fold on the second score line. After watching me do this for the bottom and for the top, you're going to be like, oh, this is so easy, right? So second score line. Whoops, don't want to go too fast though. Break the paper, rip the paper. All right, so that's going to be that side. And then we've got one more to go. Now it doesn't matter which, since it's a square and the measurements are the same on all the sides, it doesn't matter which ones you decide to. There's not like one that you have to put down first. So I just ended here. So I'm going to that's where I'm going to put my first one down for my top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, make sure that's standing up. Then I'm going to go to the opposite side and Put a little glue on that rectangle or triangle. Good Lord. All right. Then we have our sides. So there's my score line. I don't know how well you can see that. I'm going to fold it in and fold those edges in towards each other. Fold that in. See why that's a little bit easier? Like you could force your paper to do that, but it's so much easier if you score it and help it along. All right, so that's going to go there. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue where I want that triangle to go. Okay, I don't think I pushed my bone folder in there to get those corners. Okay, so again, push in, make sure I score them. Whoops. Hold your glue till it sticks. Add a little glue in there. Don't need a lot. Now, on the side where you pushed in those corners, so on this side and on this side where I pushed in the corners, that is a little bit thicker. And same thing here. This is a little bit thicker on these two sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if this is thick and this is thick, I'm going to put the thick side on the side where it's not the thick side on here. Okay, because if I put the two thick sides together, it's a little bit snugger. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on opposite sides. Okay, then what I did is this is a 2-inch circle punch. This is one of our stylish shapes in some of that glimmer paper, that Granny Apple Green glimmer paper. And this is our happy, is it happy day? Let me look. Oh, what did I do with the stamp set? Here it is. Choose Happy is what it's called. This is in by all of our, at the beginning of the catalog, that goes along with a lot of our ephemera packs. And it has a lot of different holidays or different things that you could use it for. And I thought this little pumpkin with the jack-o'-lantern face and then just the word happy and then Boo Day was kind of cute. So I'm going to just go ahead and use some Memento ink. And we're going to stamp our pumpkin along the bottom. And we're going to give it a little jack-o'-lantern face. This can be something that's really, really quick to do. It doesn't have to be anything real fancy, right? And then we'll put our word happy. And then make sure I put the right ones here. I want to make sure it says Boo Day and not Day Boo. So here's Boo Day. Just like that, okay? To bring in a couple of blends and color in. This is a pumpkin pie blend. And I'm just coloring the pumpkin pie. Now, if you wanted to do some shading, you could use the light pumpkin pie and the dark pumpkin pie. I just took one color and colored it in. They're more excited about the treat inside anyway, right? That's that Granny Apple Green. Again, the thing that I find works the best when you're putting something on glimmer paper is glue dots. So I'm going to put a bunch of glue dots on here. And then attach that so that we have just a little bit of that glimmer coming through because we've got that Granny Apple Green in here. And then we'll take some dimensionals and pop that up on dimensionals. Now, I think this would be a great treat holder that you could put as a place setting at Thanksgiving. So if you used some of that autumn paper that's in our online exclusives and you die cut some leaves from any one of our die cut sets that have some fall leaves and just have something that says thank you or grateful for you or anything like that, I think it would be a great thing to just add to your table for Thanksgiving. And they don't really take all that long to make. Just making a really tiny, this is our essential baker's twine. We have white, off-white, or vanilla, I should say, black, crumb cake, and smoky slate, I think is the other color, or gray granite, whatever. It's a gray. I'm gonna roll up a glue dot and pop that right up there. You wouldn't have to put a bow on. I just thought the bow added something kind of cute. If you're giving it to a guy, you probably don't want to put the bow on, right? And then just trim this so it's a little bit even. And there we have a quick and easy. You could fill it with something, like I said, I think a Reese's peanut butter cup, the little one, it's 2¼ inches, I think, wide, or 2 inches. I don't remember if it's 2 or 2¼ Let's see, I've got a ruler here. It's actually 2½. No, a little over 2¼ 2¼ by 2¼ by, I think it's 1. Yep, by 1. Right, so there is a fun little idea for you for Halloween as well, a little bonus project. Let me get some of this out of the way here. Whoops, let me hide that. And let me show you some of the new online exclusives that will be available on November 5th is when they are available, I believe. Now, if we do have right now a join special going on, and I can put that up here for through the whole month of October. It really is the best deal that Stampin' Up offers, because for $99 you can pick out $155 of anything you want from any of the catalogs, any of the sale kits that are going on. You can also add any of these online exclusives that are available to demonstrators. You get free shipping on that. There's no obligation to continue. I want to make sure everybody knows that. However, if you buy a lot of stamping products, you get at least a 20% discount on everything that you order after that, as long as you stay active. And to stay active in a 3-month period, so in a quarter, you have to spend $300 each one of those quarters to stay active. Once you don't, you're just inactive. There's no penalty, I should say. So if you're going to spend $99 on something, why not get $155 worth of stuff? That's my point, I guess. That's why it's such a good deal. Okay, let's start with the bundles. Let's start with the Valentine's Day. Plus, if you're on my team, you also get to come to all of my events for free. When I have kits, you get the you do get the PDFs. I send those all to you for free as well. So it's kind of a win-win. All right, so this is our Valentine paper. It is called Marbled Elegance. Okay, so there are some reds and pinks and golds. Look at this. Oh my goodness. So each of the pieces of cardstock has one side that has gold in it, and it's all like marbly paper. And yes, you can guess there's a die that has some hearts that you can, ooh, look at that, that you can cut out. I love stripes too. That you can cut out hearts with some of this marbled paper. I'll start putting some of it on the front here. And then we've got, look at this with all the hearts. Those are hearts in there, and then there's the other marbled paper. So just a beautiful paper that you could use for making some gorgeous Valentines. There is a stamp set and dies. Let me pull that out. Oh my goodness, I'm not really that organized here. So Hearts of Elegance. So there is a happy Valentine's Day. Be mine, sending lots of love. Okay, to and from if you wanted to make little gift tags. And then it has these dies that have all different size hearts. Some of them have little designs in them. And then you have another one that has even bigger hearts. And then you have something that will cut out these flowers and the leaves that are in the stamp set. Okay, so that is that. And then also with this, did I bring everything over here? Oh yeah, here it is. We have this gold twisted thread, which is really thin and is very pretty. We have some of these gold adhesive back gold sequins. They're hearts, okay? A couple of different sizes there. And then there are also these 2 sizes of gift bags. And I did pull one of these out to see if the small ones would fit a little gift card, and they would. Okay, so they're plain white, so you could stamp on them, or you could add things to them, or you could stamp and add things. Add some of those hearts that you wanted to cut out. So those gift bags, I think, are going to be pretty popular. All right, so that is the Valentine's offering that they have. And like I said, there's not going to be anything, my understanding is that there's going to be, just like there wasn't anything for Halloween in the holidays catalog, mini catalog, that there's not going to be anything for Valentine's Day in there, because with it coming out at the beginning of January, some people want that already in December. And I already cut into this paper. Oh my goodness. This is our little otters. This is the other bundle or suite of products that you can get. I loved this. Look at those little rocks and all those fun colors. But this is also like a scrapbook sheet. Okay, so you can cut out different things. And then we have little otters. I think otters are supposed to be in. I don't know. So we've got otters and then little fish. Very, you could use these for kids cards. You could also use them for some masculine cards because of some of the papers that are in here. There's just some greenery. We do have some dies that'll cut some of these otters out for you if you don't want to stamp them and color them. Look at that. Oh, I love that marbly color. And then we've got some more otters that you could use, that you could cut out. And then the back is another kind of marbly paper. And then we've got this beautiful like greenery. And then the back again is something that's a little bit more marbled. Love the color combination of all of this paper. And then the stamp set that goes with that is our Utterly Amazing stamp set. And it has dies. You can see I took these out already and started to play with them a little bit because I do have to. So you have some stones, you have some fish, you have other fish here. You have a couple of 3 different otter sizes that it cuts out. There's this little log, these little greenery things, bubbles for your fish. There's a lot of different types of dies in there to go with it. There's also a cord, Lost Lagoon soft cording, which I can't wait to try to play with that. And then we also have these, I think they're called Riverside Irregular Pearls. And there's some blues and just some real nice shimmer in that. Okay, so that is our second suite of products. Then, and I did not get everything. There is an embossing folder. It's I think it's called a herringbone folder, and this is what it looks like. I think it almost looks like tire tracks, but you could do a lot of different things because you could really cut and use like a strip that's just the center part. You could use a strip that's that bigger part, or you could use the whole thing like I did on here. So I wanted to at least run it through the embossing folder. I think it's a little, or through a piece of paper through it so that you could actually see what it looks like. We have a bundle that's called Umbrella Days, and I've been seeing a lot of different stamps out with that. So it does have dies. I haven't put these together, as you can see. I haven't used them yet. But you can cut out some of the images. There's also some grass. There's actually an umbrella that you can build. I love this because there's a cute little dog in here, which I thought was adorable. So there's a lot of different flexibility. Here's a little puddle that you can make and some clouds. The boots you could use. I mean, there's just a lot of different things that you could do. Look at that little dog. I love it. All right, so that is Umbrella Days. I loved that, but I have to say that this right now is the one that I can't wait to play with. Happy Hibiscus. It has some cute sayings. These are flowers that you can stamp. And then this is one of those hybrid embossing folders. So you have the flowers that you can, it's all one stamp, so you could stamp them, and then they have the different, you could use the inside two-step stamping, and then there is the embossing folder that you can, it's one of those hybrid ones, so you can actually give dimensions to the stamped flowers that you make. So I could stamp the outline, stamp with a different color, the inside, and then take that and put this right in here. Let's see if I can get it the right way. It's got to go in the cover. Looks like it goes, let's see. Like, let's see if I can figure out which way it goes, like this. Okay, so it sits right inside of there like that. And then you can run that through your embossing folder and it will cut them out. It will also emboss them and give them texture or like embossing. And then you can also use the whole folder as like a background. There's this awesome circle that kind of reminds me a little bit about the circle that I used today. There is a leaf in there. There's these beautiful flowers. And I love this. It fits the greeting. Well, there's a congratulations greeting, but there's also one that says, "You make me smile," and it fits very nicely in there. And this fits in the circular one. So this is kind of a fun bundle of products that is available. I don't want to lose that. I bought this one because if you ever decide that you want to sell any of the cards that you make and you are using Stampin' Up! Products, there is an angel policy where you do have to stamp something on the back of your card that says that it's copyright Stampin' Up! So this gives you that. It also has the handcrafted by where you could sign your name, and also has some nice things for a demonstrator sharing what I love, loving what I do. Just to brighten your day is cool, and crafted with you in mind is kind of a fun thing to stamp on the outside of a card, or you could also stamp it on the back of a card. And then the last one that I purchased, there are more on there, but I didn't get everything, is this Pretty Petals. This is again is a two stamping, so you would stamp the uh the leaves and stuff in one color, and you can stamp the flowers in another color, and it does have a die set that will cut those things out so that you can layer them on top of each other, and it looked really, really cool. This one doesn't have any greetings, but you could take one of your greeting stamp sets and add it with that. So that is what I purchased for the online exclusive so that I could start playing with some of this stuff and designing so that when it comes live in November, I have some things to share with you. So let me go ahead, come back to you. Here I am. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I am going to remind you, I know last time I completely forgot to do this and somebody asked me, what is it? Sometimes I get talking. If you are purchasing an order and it's under $150, that is my host code. I would love it if you would put that in because it helps me with the prizes that I give away. If it's over $150, you will get some bonus dollars. So I don't want you to give those to me. I want you to use those. So then don't put the host code in. When you are, if you sign up, if you join my team and do the join special that is right now, I just want to let you know that you will get the if you spend $150, you will get those hostess benefits even as a demonstrator. You don't have to create a host code, and you don't have to do what I'm doing and make videos. You don't have to go do house parties. If you spend $100, at least $100 a month or around $100 a month, it really is a good way to go because you're getting 20%, at least 20% off your product. So if you want to talk to me about it more because you have questions, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to talk to you. I just want you to get the best deal that there is out there. And that really is it right now if you're going to spend $99. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will be back next week, but next week it will be at 12:30. I will send you a reminder. I'll post it in my Facebook page so that you for sure know that it's at 12:30. Thank you so much. I'm gonna just check to see if there were any questions. Okay. Thank you guys all for the comments of saying that it was pretty. Adorable. Okay. Thank you. I don't think there are any questions there. You guys all have a great weekend. I hope you can find some time to be crafty. I hope that this has inspired you a little bit to try something. And I know, Melanie, 12:30 is better for you because you're in Arizona, right? I think. So the time difference is huge. So thank you guys so much and have a wonderful weekend and a better week. Talk to you later. Bye bye.